Oh, hi there. This is my 14-inch bandsaw. In case you don't already know, the design was made by Matthias Wandel. I've worked on this project for a couple years or so, on and off. This is one of those projects that I didn't imagine I'd ever make, but one thing led to another, and here we are. I did cheat a little bit because I used my Ryobi saw to make parts for this saw, but who do I look like? Paul Sellers? Right now it has a half-inch blade on it, which means it's like half an inch this way. And the wheels are roughly 14 inches. One of them is a bit smaller than the other one, and they're both a teeny bit under 14 inches, which is kind of annoying. So the tabletop is made out of knockoff Baltic birch plywood, and on the edge here I have a strip that goes into a notch to sort of keep the table level. And then you can take that off to get the blade out, because the blade comes out this way on the 14-inch models. I didn't feel like putting on trunnions, so it just uses hinges like the plans called for. And a lot of people like to put really beefy motors on their bandsaws, but I didn't do that because I didn't feel like it, like spending the money, and I don't really have electrical for that. The motor is not very beefy. It's only a 1/3 horsepower motor from a washing machine at the town dump. They were kind of pissed off that I ruined a perfectly good washing machine, so they said I better put it to good use, so I hope this counts as good use. The drive belt for this saw is actually a lawnmower drive belt that I cut and then spliced together with a bit of coat hanger wire. So I've actually tried this before for an actual lawnmower drive belt, but the lawnmower engine is just too powerful. But for the bandsaw, it's held up really nicely, since it's only 1/3 of a horsepower. And other interesting things, let's see here. I actually went for the 7/8, I believe, stainless steel shaft. So a 1/4-20 bolt goes in there and holds it on. Same thing for the bottom. And then I did a really janky job of this. For the longest time I wasn't doing anything to hold it in. So to keep the shaft from falling out, I put a bolt in there, and then to keep it from spinning out, I put this thing on there. And then I realized the whole shaft could just spin, so then I put a screw in there, which sort of makes the whole nut thing obsolete. I had a really hard time getting this part flat and in line parallel to the blade, so I ended up hollowing it out even more and then putting in wood and then shimming it to make a nice good surface that is level with the blade. And then that also means that I had to move this nut over farther, so the clamp is less effective, I guess. And also it sort of cuts into the space where this rail is. And then I'm pretty sure these wheels are not very in plane with each other, because it does change a little bit if you run it forwards and backwards. So as you can see, if you look at right at the back of the blade, it's like just barely past a layer of the plywood when I go this way, but then if I go backwards it sort of moves into that layer more. So it's not perfect, but I don't really care. So the blade guides, or gauge blides as I should say, I sort of botched this because I didn't realize you're supposed to make this out of plywood, so I just used a chunk of wood from an old couch we were getting rid of to make this beam, and then also this block here. And then I originally was going to use oak for the actual block pieces here, but then I decided to use, we have these boxes of hardwood flooring just laying in the basement, so I took a piece and I used it to make these, because that's some really hard wood. So this project has been going on for a long time. I started gathering materials for it like a long time ago, and I didn't even know I was going to start making the frame out of it. And I think I have one picture of the frame going together, and I have some pictures of the wheels. I didn't really document the process of building this saw, so I don't have a lot to give you. This board will be very useful for making part of the frame for the saw. Here are all the pieces mocked up and finally glued together. And here I am checking the wheel for wobble. Both wheels done. Saw partly together. Yo, what's poppin', guys? So I figured this was a historical moment in the unimportant history of stuff. So here's my 14-inch bandsaw. We're just about ready for the first test cut, and already I can see looks like the blade's going a little bit wobbly here. Shit, it's probably my fault because the tracking, like the crown's a little bit messed up, but if I put inner tubes on there, it'll probably be okay. I don't know why I pick such bad camera angles sometimes. You can barely see what's going on at all. So I think the only appropriate thing to do now would be to cut some stuff on the bandsaw, and that's why I have this stuff here. Wow, this is really boring. If only I wasn't such a perfectionist and cut things a bit faster. Come on, let's hurry this up. I don't have all day. Okay, I think this is the last one. Thank goodness. That was so boring. And there we are. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Kaboom. And other stuff I thought of while I was doing that is I didn't put inner tube tires on the wheels. It's just plain wood. And I guess also polyacrylic finish. So I put duct tape on the bottom wheel though, but it's, you know, getting worn out. So that's that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks to Matthias Wandel for making the plans for this bandsaw. You can go to the description to check out his website and stuff. Yeah. Peace.